So, how old are you guys?
Well, old enough.
Old enough?
Yeah.
I think I'm barely there.
What do you mean you're barely there? Anyway, guys, welcome to Nani the Fact.
Nani the Fact. Today we're going to talk about guilty pleasures and guilty pains. Meaning, bad anime that we love and good anime that we don't like. Alright? So, for this setup, Mr. Punctury Heart, right here. Actually, no, he's behind the mic. You guys can see him. He's behind the camera right now. So, do you want to start us off with a guilty pleasure?
For guilty pleasure, my first one will probably be we're gonna be discussing 2 and 2, right? Like two
At least
of each.
one or two. Yeah.
One or two.
Yeah,
Okay.
1 or 2.
Well, one off the back is probably gonna be Iki Tosen. Iki Tosen is pretty much it's an anime about like
Just ecchi. Just
it's
fighting
an
ecchi.
ecchi fighting anime.
I've never seen it, but I know what it's about. It's like it's famous enough to like know.
Yeah. People like it's old. You know, it's kind of old. The animation is kind of, it's like the beginning of like anime, but I enjoyed it.
So what makes it like better? Like what compared to like the other hundreds of ecchi?
I don't know. I guess the character design.
You mean
like
the character design?
No, I mean like okay.
There's a lot of character design with every anime.
Come on.
Well,
yeah.
there was one girl with green hair. I forget her name.
Oh, come on, man.
Oof.
But it was actually like I think if I remember correctly, it was like a 3-part series, and they're pretty much like fighting other high schools.
Is it a girl on girl fighting or is it like girl versus monster?
It's girl on girl fighting the
Nice.
majority of the time.
Nice.
But then like towards like I think like the third segment of the series, they were fighting like guys or like
Ew, what is that?
or rivals from others. It was weird, but like it's like one of those animes that like no one really talks about.
Oh yeah, I mean,
But like
people,
you remember it because of the character design.
you're a little ashamed of like liking, so you
Yeah,
don't tell anyone about it,
Yeah, it's like
That's why it's a guilty pleasure.
yeah, that's pretty much one.
Okay, so what do you have for guilty pleasure?
For guilty pleasure.
Ramens, by the way.
Ramens, by the way, yeah.
Yeah.
We forgot to introduce
So-
our names.
Karu, Ramens, and Punctury Heart.
Yeah.
For the guilty pleasures, I have to go with Kakegurui. It's like a freaking gambling. But
Elon
the same-
Musk likes
That
Kakegurui.
is true. And it's
Mr. Musk.
also because of the main character, I actually liked her characteristics as her own character because she's very sadistic. So at times the gambling that she does is very like obscure, but you get to enjoy that in an extent because of the way she presents herself during her gamblings and even like her character in the classroom itself and the surrounding people around her too.
See, I hope would you even consider you've seen Kakegurui, right, Mr. Punctury Heart? Or no?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay, so for you, like, do you even consider that as a gambling anime? It's not really gambling.
No, not at all.
Is
Is it the Netflix show?
Oh, it's the one where
Like you're in a school and everyone has to gamble.
everyone has to gamble too. Yeah, I saw
all
like
the
the first.
A couple episodes.
Yeah, is it the one where it ends like when they're at the island or something like that?
No.
Oh,
I
which
don't
one
think
was
so.
that?
No, that's not it.
That's not it. Anyways, the anime is about how to cheat gambling.
Oh yeah,
Because everyone's basically not really gambling; they're just cheating.
you're just cheating.
So,
through the
like,
way.
Is it like I get why it's a guilty pleasure because there's a lot of problems with it, but I think it's an okay show. So like you like so that's your guilty pleasure pick.
Oh yeah,
Alright, so my guilty pleasure pick is it's quite old. Actually, not that old, like 2015, 14. It's called Haganai. I don't know if you remember that.
Hagana. Yes, I do.
Like it's Boku wa Tomodachi ga Suki ga Ganai, something like that. I don't know the original title.
No, I know what you're
I don't
talking
know.
about.
I fucking love that show. It's like, it's this guy who starts a club called the Neighbors Club, and basically he doesn't have any friends because he's like, he looks like a Yakuza member. He's like half. On the anime they explain he's half American, so his hair is kind of blondish. So people think he dyed his hair, so he's like, ghetto or like thug like that.
Yeah, and then no one wants
to be his friend
because
So-
they think he's
He's a bad guy,
yeah,
but
I
actually
think I
he's like a
remember
really
that
nice
now.
guy.
Yeah, he has.
I think I see
very
that,
kind.
actually.
I love it. There's 2 seasons. I really love the second season. I know there's problems with the show. Like, it's like you're just your typical comedy /
They
pseudo
refer to him
harem.
as a Yankee in that
I don't know,
series,
like,
right?
I've seen both dub and sub.
Because
don't know.
I remember like in Japanese culture they refer to like
White people as Yankees.
yeah, it's
Maybe
Yankees.
Yeah, they're Yankees.
So maybe they did. I just don't remember exactly. But I do like that's a good.
Because
pleasure.
another I can relate to that character because in Fruits Basket, Tora Honda had an older friend who was also blonde, and she was also in a gang. They would call her like a Yankee in the manga,
But she was actually in the gang.
but she was in the gang.
Yeah, and in
That's-
Haganai,
that's a
he's
difference.
not.
He's-
Like he's a really
yeah.
nice guy. Just,
Yeah, but
that
he's
looks like
just
bad.
because of his appearance, they judged her.
Yeah, so he
Yeah,
Okay,
but the same thing too with this character because when she left the gang, they still treated her like she was still
Like a bad person.
like a
Yeah.
bad person because of the color
but
of her
now
hair.
she's a good noodle.
But
you
she's
know?
a good noodle.
She's
Yeah.
a good noodle.
Yeah. All right. So you guys any more guilty pleasures? 'Cause
I mean-
that's the only one I have.
I guess for me another one would be. I guess not. I mean,
All right. So
I guess Iki Tosin probably was
How
my
about you,
guilty
Ramen?
pleasure.
Any more guilty pleasures?
The one I can think of on top of my head right now is pretty much Zombieland Saga. Even though it just recently came out and just aired and finished, the CG and all that stuff
CG was bad.
it
Oh
was
my god.
really horrible. I'm sorry.
That's like not as bad as Overlord CG, but getting
No,
there.
it's there. It's at that not near that point, but it's like their average. But at the same time, I'm only there because of the laughs there.
The lols. Because of the manager.
the
manager's
manager,
son.
or
Yeah, he's hilarious.
he's damn hilarious, especially with this freaking Japanese voice actor, top notch.
Oh yeah. So actually, another guilty pleasure, Guilty Crown.
Guilty
Yeah.
Crown.
Love Guilty Crown. It's a series. It's like they're trying to do so much with Guilty Crown. They're trying to be like this like really deep, meaningful show, but it just like it's not. It's like the way they did the story, like everything, like the story, the characters, the progression, the pacing. It's like all over the place.
It really is all over the place.
I love it. I love it. That's why it's guilty pleasure. Guilty
I
Crown.
mean,
Same thing with Mirai Nikki. We did mention that before. Mirai Nikki is all over the place. It's a train wreck, but
yeah.
it's a really good train wreck to watch.
I think for me another guilty pleasure. I mean, for me, it's like a guilty pleasure is like something I won't admit to the boys that
Yeah,
I
that you
watch.
like. But we are,
But I would probably have to say like Maid Sama was a guilty
Sama?
pleasure for me.
I haven't
Sama?
actually seen it.
I haven't
so
seen
I
it
would,
either.
I
Maid
wouldn't know.
Sama was pretty much about this girl who went to high school and then she worked at a maid cafe, and then one of the guys that went to school with her like happened to be like the popular guy. He kind of was slowly like having feelings for her, so he would go periodically to like visit her, and it was just like a really good like short romance series, and it's like, I mean, for me, like they know like I'm the last person that like people would expect that would enjoy romance animes. Another one is like Fruits Basket too. I guess that could be a guilty pleasure
For
too.
you.
Yeah,
Generally
for
for
me.
you, because you're like
no, 'cause-
you're like too. Oh yeah, I'm alpha. You know, like if you guys don't know, Mr. Puncture likes to be the alpha of the group. So like he wouldn't admit, but you know, deep down he's a softie. Just like this guy.
I mean, I mean, Fruits Basket was probably like my first like
He's getting a
because
remake.
it was just so cute all
Kawaii
around,
as
man.
fuck, you know, kawaii as
Team
fuck.
Kyo, man. Team Kyo.
I haven't
Kill
seen
the
it,
cat.
but I'm actually gonna
Yeah,
watch
I'm actually
the remake.
excited for the remake.
For remake, yep.
For the remake this spring 2019. So
Okay.
hopefully
yeah.
they do a great job on that, and hopefully it gets a lot of new people to love it.
All right, so okay, so now we're moving to Guilty Pains. So these are shows that generally most people think that are good, amazing, but for some reason we just don't like it. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna go first. Like a guilty pain is Cowboy Bebop. Oh yeah, a lot of people love Cowboy Bebop. It's like the best show in the '90s. Spike Spiegel. Like it's so fucking boring. When I watched it, I fell asleep. I didn't like. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but for me it was just so boring because it was so episodic. Like it's 24 episodes, right? If you guys
Yeah,
seen Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
definitely
It's 24 episodes, and like from episode 5 to like episode 15, it's just like they do on this like weird adventures for like an episode, and there's like really no major plot progression until like the end. And even so, like I didn't get attached to Spiegel, to Mr. Spike.
yeah.
So spoilers alert, he died at the end, supposedly. Didn't feel anything. I was like, okay. And but the funny part about it, like my favorite episode is the one where there was a monster in the fridge.
Right.
I don't know if you guys remember that episode,
Mhm.
because they basically had like a leftover sandwich in the fridge they left for like months and it became a monster and started attacking the crew. It's a filler episode. They could completely take it out. But for me, I think that was the best episode because it was funny. So yeah, that's my don't crucify me for this, but yeah. Cowboy Bebop,
It's down.
down for me. I don't like it. I don't hate it. I think it's, it has its place, but I don't like it.
Yeah, well, I think people would hate me for not liking Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh man, why?
So much hate,
Bro.
I did not enjoy it.
Which one specifically?
Yeah.
Both of them or
No, Brotherhood was okay.
What? You know what? I'm the
Actually,
opposite. I prefer original over
Really?
No, I'm sorry, but I gotta go with Brotherhood, man.
Prefer Brotherhood, so we all have slightly different
Okay,
variations.
yeah,
You don't like
Brotherhood-
either.
Brotherhood was slightly okay, but at the end of the day, I just didn't enjoy Ed and the
Alphonse?
fucking Tin Man.
I did
I
now.
just,
Ed
didn't, I
and
just
Al?
couldn't do it.
Gonna do it? Is it
And
because
then-
it's too long? It's like 70 episodes.
Well, yeah, and like it was just they fucked each other up. Like they're trying to resurrect the mom, and this motherfucker gives up his little brother, and then he starts moping that his little brother's a Tin Man. Like you should have let your fucking mom dead. Like come on. It reminds me of I don't know if you guys seen the movie what's it called, The Purge. With the little
Yeah,
boy.
I've seen it.
I've seen the
When the
latest
little
one.
boy lets the guy in,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like they're asking for they just extended.
It's like I don't know if you guys seen Bird Box.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've seen it.
That lady that let the guy in that
Yeah,
killed everyone.
exactly.
I'm like, bitch, what the fuck?
Bro, I cannot stand stories that are like that.
Yeah, and it's like this bitch literally
'cause,
killed
like,
everyone.
It's like
That shit was fucking
that's
annoying.
probably why I didn't like Full Metal Alchemist.
because you didn't like Al
You
specifically
didn't like
Ed.
this
No, I
decision.
didn't like Ed at all.
Ed.
You
he
just
was
didn't like the decision they made in
Because
the beginning.
Ed is so like abrasive, little obnoxious.
Yeah, he was annoying, and then at times you forget who's the younger brother.
Oh yeah.
Or
I mean,
older-
maturity wise, Ed is definitely the one
Yeah.
less mature, even though he's the older.
He's the older one, and then it was weird how they did it. And then what threw me off too was this big brolic tank, just having a little kid voice, and it was I just couldn't do it.
Get into it. And you
Yeah.
know what? I
And
disagree. I like the show, but although I prefer, it's another small thing. I prefer the original over Brotherhood. I think the original had a better ending. than
Yeah,
Brotherhood.
well, the ending was good for the original, but the thing is,
I mean,
with the
don't
story,
get me wrong, it was enjoyable at times.
So you can see what's the good points, but you just don't like it. Just
but
not for you.
I just it wasn't for me.
Alright, okay, I can respect
Okay.
that. But fuck you though.
yeah, but for me, it was the story for Brotherhood was a lot more better because it actually went with the actual manga. But at the same time, with the original, it was it wasn't all over the place, but at the same time, it was it didn't make much sense.
See, here's the problem with the ending of another spoiler territory. The ending of Brotherhood, they were fighting dad,
Yeah, the
and he
father.
was throwing sons.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
literally,
that shit was
Well,
not.
yeah.
It was a Dragon Ball Z shit.
Bro,
I'm like, what is this?
This is why I didn't like it because
The ending was like, what the fuck is this? You're doing alchemy, and this guy's like, oh,
That's
here's
true,
fucking
yeah.
Nebula.
The
Here.
ending-
But wait,
the ending there was
if he was
different.
so powerful, then why fight?
Why did
Just
he lose?
resurrect the mom.
Exactly. That's why I prefer the original, because I think the
It
original,
was just
he got sent. In the original, basically, there's two worlds: the real world, which is the one we live in, and then the world where alchemy exists. So I think it's a better ending. That's
Yeah.
why I think the original Full
The
Metal
ending
is
for
better.
that is better, but the
But-
story was
I think so. I think the original one's
the
better.
story
all the way.
didn't wasn't there to the point where it progressed a lot for it, but the ending made a lot more sense, where alchemy comes from and all that stuff. But with Father, it's so different because the thing is he's basically a god in there,
He was a god.
and the thing is he was beaten by a punch through the stomach from
Yeah.
from
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
Ed.
They did the Soul Eater shit
Look,
at the end.
at the end of the day, everyone should just stop
Bones
being
without-
butthurt because the only reason they like Full Metal Alchemist is probably because it was the first anime. All right,
Probably, yeah.
all right,
Okay,
all right. Mic drop.
Mr. Ramens, what do you have for Guilty Pain?
For Guilty Pains, for me, it was the irregular at Magic High School. For that shit, I don't know what the fuck was that
But
all
was
about,
that even
man.
a Guilty Pain? No one really
No one really
liked it to begin with.
That's true, but at the same time, it's one of those animes that had a lot of people actually watch a lot of animes that have pretty much magical girls in there too. And the thing is, for this, it's so different because there's so much fucking shit going on. There's freaking drama here and there.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even actually finish it. I'm like 2 episodes in.
And plus, the
never finished
the
it.
main character had no sense of
Oh yeah,
character
he was
either.
like a robot. He was
It's
like
like-
he was
he was
like an OP robot. It's like
Yeah.
Kirito without the emotions.
Oh yeah,
It's
but
like, yeah.
basically, and
like
same
a
thing
boring-
with season 2. The
You
thing
watched season 2? How do you not like season 1 and then watch season 2?
I-
You
What's that
gotta,
logic?
no, it's because you got to see if it gets better.
Oh,
You
yeah,
gotta
exactly.
give
You have to
yeah,
give it a
like,
chance.
the benefit of the doubt.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that's why it's like that anime was just like, what the fuck was going on in that shit? The same thing with like the wars between like those who don't have that much magical power and the other that is too OP. And turns out that he was like the lowest class, but at the same time he was like the most powerful human in the world. In his
Oh,
fucking
man.
army.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I never saw like the ending. I never saw anything past episode 2, so like I have no comment. So is that all everyone?
I think I have one more.
All right, was it
And
pain or
it's-
pleasure?
No,
Hey,
it's
yo.
a guilty pain, and for me, it's gonna probably be what is it? Shimonette?
Shumanera?
Shimonetta,
Shimonetta?
yeah.
You didn't like it?
No, I did
Why?
not like it because for me, like I watch a lot of ecchi, so you could probably
Not enough.
maybe
Maybe
assume that I'm a perv.
you don't like love nectar, bro?
So like when I watched it for the first time, I thought the jokes were very like they weren't funny, and I felt like they tried to do a joke every other second, like it was just like an overpopulation of like dirty
Slapstick,
jokes,
yeah.
and it wasn't funny for me. I did not find it funny. I actually found it annoying, but people thought it was like really funny, and I don't
I thought
see
it was alright. I didn't like.
It was funny at times.
I think it was okay.
The only times it was funny was when they had the scene with the student council president.
Oh yeah, she's hilarious.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
she's-
she
remember the
saved
scene-
the show. If it wasn't for her,
the scene where she was like when he was sleeping,
yeah.
and then that girl crawled into the bed, and then she walked in
Oh yeah.
at night, and she had like a knife or something. Oh my god! Like actually, that's like one of the funnier parts of the show.
Yeah,
but
but any part what's her the
the
what's
girl with the mask.
yeah the panties and panties.
I don't know her name.
Yeah, I forget
Panty
her
face.
name. But like she wasn't that funny. She was kind of annoying at times. It was like if a guy wore a wig and just said the dirty joke every time. Like it
So
just
like it's like some hobo off the street. Some
yeah,
crackhead.
it was yeah, to me it wasn't enjoyable, but I know a lot of people enjoyed it, and that's like I guess my second guilty pain. It was
All right,
just-
okay. So
painful.
I think we have
Damn.
everything we need. I don't like Cowboy Bebop. I love Hagunai.
Same. For me, it was the guilty pain was irregular Magic High School, and guilty pleasure was pretty much Guilty Crown.
and for
Guilty,
me,
guilty.
well, you guys know what it was. So
Anything etchy, he loved.
Anything the Enchi would be
And
the
then
one
he
that
hates
goes-
Full Metal Alchemist. The
yeah.
Heathen.
Oh yeah.
The Heathen.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think that's it for this video.
Yeah, if you guys like, disagree or like, you guys are probably gonna like,
Burn
rant
us at the
about
stake
me,
or something. Yeah. Rant
like
about
put
me.
in the comments.
I don't like Spike Spiegel.
Yeah, yeah, but this is our opinions.
Yeah, fully opinion.
fully
based.
opinion. Okay, so like, don't take it personal
Yeah,
just
don't-
because
yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist was
Just
the
because
first anime
Naruto
you
sucks.
watched.
All right. Don't say anything.
Plus, if you guys want to mention any of your pains or pleasures, just leave it in the comment as well. Everything will be just down in the comments. We'll make sure we'll look at it.
All right, guys. I think that's about it. And wait, do you guys hear that?
What?
What is that?
What?
What is that?